At Advanced Spine Solutions, we consider all treatment options, surgical to non-surgical, to help our patients resume a pain-free life.
Since I had the XLIF procedure, I'm able to hunt and fish and ride my motorcycle a whole lot more now. Dr. James and I chose the XLIF procedure because it was less invasive than most others. I no longer have to take any pain medication, and I lead a pain-free life. Before the procedure, I had trouble sitting or standing for any length of time. Now I can take long walks with my wife.
My name is Nathan Quarry, Nate Rock Quarry. I'm a professional UFC fighter and an XLIF patient.
Now Nate, you're a middleweight MMA fighter. Tell me about your back pain before the surgery.
Before my surgery, my back was just a constant source of irritation, just a constant grinding. I describe it as a level 4 out of 10 as far as my pain, where it was just tiring all day long. I couldn't fight, I couldn't train, I couldn't even pick up my little girl.
Wow, so how competitive were you before you started having back pain?
It was just a few months before I actually visited my surgeon about my back pain. I fought for the middleweight title for the UFC, live on TV in front of millions of people.
Okay, and when you started having back pain, how did that change your ability to fight?
I was no longer able to train, and if you can't train, you can't fight, and if I couldn't fight, I couldn't feed my family, so it was a pretty big ordeal for me.
So what types of things did the doctor put you through before surgery?
I tried everything before my surgery, chiropractic, anti-inflammatories, pain medications, everything you could imagine, because for me, surgery was the last thing I wanted to do.
Absolutely, and actually, in my opinion, surgery is a last resort. Most people do get better without surgery, physical therapy, spine injections, things like that, things that you probably had, but eventually you decided to have surgery.
It came down to the quality of my life was so low, I couldn't live life on my terms. I could not follow my dreams. I couldn't even pick up my little girl, let alone fight again. So I needed to do something about this.
So what did the doctor tell you about the XLIF procedure?
When I first saw the doctor about my XLIF, it just made sense to me. And with the quick recovery time that I received after my surgery, it was just an incredible option for me.
So tell me more about your recovery after the surgery.
Immediately after my recovery, I was up and walking around within 24 hours. 2.5 weeks after my surgery, I went on a 3-mile hike. 3 months after, I was working with my boxing coach. 6 months after I was cleared for full sparring, I went from the doctor's office to the gym, began boxing, wrestling, grappling, and 15 months later, I was back in the cage fighting live on TV in front of millions of people.
Now, what did you notice immediately after the surgery? Usually my patients say they can tell the difference right away.
Immediately, it was just life-changing. The pain that had been resonating with me for so long had begun to dissipate.
Great. Now, tell me more about that 3-month mark. That's about the mark when people really start getting more active.
That 3-month mark after my surgery was a godsend. I went to the gym on that day, worked with my boxing coach, hitting mitts, twisting, moving. I'd gotten my life back. I was starting to live life on my terms again.
Now, give me your level of pain at that time.
At that time, my pain was nearly completely gone.
Wow. So tell me about your first fight after the surgery.
My first fight, 15 months after my surgery, live on TV, was just a war. We were actually classified Slugfest of the Year in one of the MMA magazines. I got dropped in the second round and I came back to knock him out in the third. And it was just such a testament to the journey that I'd come through, and being someone, an ambassador who could now reach out to people that are suffering and let them know you can find a better way back with your back surgeries.
Now, tell me about how your back felt during that fight. Did it feel normal? Did it feel the way it did a long time ago? Tell me more about that.
I never even gave my back a second thought in that fight. When you've got somebody punching you in the head, you don't need any distractions, and my back was never a thought ever again since my surgery.
Call us today for a consultation. We can help you get back to a pain-free life.